G'day and welcome to the MacPack.
We're back.
My name's Jake McKenna, and to my left this week in Order of the Man on the panel, who is the biggest mummy lover? It's my little brother Joe. How are you, Joy?
Yes, I think I am, but it must be pretty close. We all love Mom.
We do indeed. And to my right, coming in at 6'1", as he does each and every week, is the baby brother of the pack, who we call Ginger Boy. Ginger Boy, how are you, mate?
I'm sharing the most love. I've got the closest seat to the lady of the hour. Mum, how you going?
Hi boys, good. Thanks for having me.
There you go. The lady to our far, far right tonight is joining us on the panel on this week's episode of the MacPack podcast. The COVID test has been done. The face mask is off. The rats are all finished.
And the mic is on.
And we're here to give you a belated Mother's Day episode of the MacPack podcast. We're going to address all things motherhood. We've got advice. We've got stories. We've got a little bit of everything. She's even bringing us a Best Bro segment.
Yes.
We love a guest who brings us there. It's a massive ep. Let's get into it. Boys!
BrotherMingos.
How are we all? Are we all well?
Fantastic. How are you doing, Mum? You back?
Yeah, 70% I reckon.
There we go. We like it. She's, despite this
High
might
energy.
be
70% health, 100% gusto.
it's probably your third attempt, third appearance is probably a better word here on the pod.
Yes.
Yes, how
Welcome
exciting. I must admit, the confidence isn't growing exponentially to start each episode.
The year break every time,
Yeah.
I think, does throw a
The
spanner
rust.
in the works.
I think it might be the fourth one
Ooh.
because I did one back when you just used to do it on your phone.
Oh, that's right. Pardon, we don't talk about the early days. The early days.
I don't remember that.
But yeah, that's right. We got Mum on early, very early. She answered a few questions.
That episode, my microphone didn't work.
Yeah,
Oh,
and we
yeah.
Did a
from
whole
that
mum segment without
from that
mine.
moment on, we've been
Let's
trying.
switch you off.
We've been trying to get exactly the same result. We've got a bunch of questions for you, Mum. We've had a bunch of people who get in contact because we explained that you were going to be on the podcast a couple of weeks ago, and then last week we had a pretty sad late omission when we found out that Mum wasn't in fact going to be joining us on the podcast because
Pulled a hammy.
yeah, because she had COVID.
A massive Friday night.
Yeah.
And it sort
On
of
the gear.
it happened out of absolutely nowhere as well, the whole COVID.
Well, not really because he got it and then gave it to me. and
There-
then-
Yes.
But one night you were fine. The next night it was the pod night, and you
Wasn't fine.
were suspiciously sick. We don't really give out sick leave, but Mum has managed to claim.
She's in the negatives.
So we had a few people reach out. Firstly, with their best wishes, making sure that you were well, but
Oh,
also
did we?
but also with some questions about the annual update that we often get from Mum when Mum joins us on the podcast. But people want to know, what have you been up to, Mum, over the last 365 odd days?
Hanging out.
Working, really? Work 7
On the
days a
grind.
fortnight now, so cut down work a bit.
Very nice.
Nearing a
Nice.
retirement.
Yes, edging towards retirement.
Nice, that's exciting.
Got a
How's your
big-
work strife balance?
What does that even mean?
Got a big birthday coming up.
Yes, we were gonna touch on that. We might as well get to it now. It's only a matter of days away. What are we? Less than 2 weeks away from the big birthday. Are we announcing numbers? Big 21.
Well, it's got a 0. Let's just say
It
that.
has 2 zeros at the end, which is very exciting.
Oh, yes.
900.
What are the plans for the big birthday?
So we're going zip lining. Me
We
and
are.
the boys are all going zip lining at Madagarup Bridge. Is that how you say it?
Not sure.
Optus,
Off
anyway.
the bridge near
Yep.
The
Optus.
bridge near Optus.
Yep.
They do a little zip lining course.
Yep, and from memory, we have to climb up to the top of the bridge. We get strapped on,
Pardon?
and then we fly fly down on a flying fox kind of thing through the water,
No, not through the water.
just above the water.
Above the water. Depends how tall you are.
And then do we land on ground?
Hopefully.
Where else would you land?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. But what's your biggest fear about the whole thing, Mum?
Climbing up the stairs, to be honest.
Oh, you think the stairs? The
There's
stairs will be the-
360 stairs or something.
There you go.
And the way I'm feeling now, I reckon
That sounds like
you might have to take turns carrying me.
I think it'll be fine. I did the Sydney Harbour Bridge, and there's a lot more.
Humble brag.
You know, I brought that up the
You
other
should
day.
talk about it constantly while we're climbing up.
And,
Just keep going. This is no Sydney Harbour, but it's not.
and I think it'll be interesting because you're up a long way, but it is a bit like a ladder. Like you're just sort of walking along it.
And
But
just
it's not
stop every
hard.
now and then and like,
Throw up.
And there is a fair bit of looking at the view going
Yeah.
on because while you're up
Yeah.
there, you don't want to. It's not like an aerobic exercise. You do want to be up there enjoying what you're doing.
yeah.
Yeah.
I also
Just
predict that that's when
just
winter
running
will
around.
officially start.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bit of lightning.
Because it's been like 28 degrees lately here.
Yeah,
up
true.
till the end of May. And
Yep.
then, I reckon it'll be like torrential rain. And
Well, I think it'll be
But
good.
the show must go on.
Speaking of the shows, I think it'll be quite exciting because we're going to be doing it in front of a live studio audience, by all reports as well.
Yes.
Because
yeah,
there is a-
apparently it's a WA
Because
Day
it's-
festival or
Yes.
something, which nobody told me about.
It's what a.
So classic mum. Mum likes to do things very
On the
low
quiet,
key.
yes.
And instead, we've invited basically 60,000 of her nearest and dearest to come and watch her go down the zip
Yes.
lining on this occasion.
One of the biggest lot of stairs we have in Perth is Jacob's Ladder. Can you guys guess how many stairs Jacob's Ladder has compared to the Smudgy Go Up Bridge? If I've pronounced it that
It would
right.
have more. I would say 550
It must have.
steps.
Because we've done the Jacob's Ladder, and I remember it being
Yeah.
like
Is it 1,000?
huge.
Yeah, I'd say 900.
Yeah, massive, right? 242.
What?
No, there we
Wow.
go.
Is that all?
242
I
according
thought you said it
to
was the biggest.
Wikipedia.
My
Jacob's
dad
Ladder
nearly
Perth.
died on there.
Consisting of 240
Well, we all get a shot.
consisting of 242 concrete steps. The staircase links northeast corner of Kings Park to the Swan River.
There you go. Well, Dad nearly died on that one. You'll probably nearly die on this one. How exciting.
Did it say how many stairs on Madjagarup?
Well, you
We're
said
gonna-
360.
Am I
Didn't you?
saying that right?
I'm probably not, but I think
I didn't know it was called that.
neither did
I
I.
had a name.
I think it's Matagarup.
Okay. Well, by
Yeah,
the,
we'll
by
go
the
back
time
and edit it.
by the time the episode's done, we'll work it out. Very exciting, though. That is only a matter of weeks away. So if you do find yourself at the little festival and you watch three interesting-looking chaps and their mother sliding down the zip line, you know exactly who.
We should go down in pairs, I think.
Oh,
Pairs.
Jesus. How are we organising the
I
pair
don't
lineup?
know.
It would have to be by
There we go.
weight. Because if you both go, then you might get lopsided by one of you.
What do you go down like a dual cab?
Yeah, a dual cab ute.
Is that what you do? It's not like,
Yeah, you're both like
No,
hanging.
yeah, two separate ones, but you
What?
go at the same time.
right, to give someone
It's a
balance.
400-meter long zip line. That's half a
That's
K.
pretty cool.
The max speed is 75 kilometers per hour.
That's quick.
That's
Do you reckon
depending
you were
on
like-
weight.
Do you reckon you'll dive off the thing? Or they give you a little shove?
And does it say how many stairs?
72 meters high and 314
Oh, there you
steps.
go, 340.
Nothing.
So still like a large amount higher than Jacob's.
No, I think it'd be
But it's
cool.
probably not as steep.
Steep, no.
Yeah.
Very much
Who
looking
knows?
forward to it. Another big news for yourself, Mum, is you're now an influencer. You've got a little bit of a dog Instagram going on.
Poppy's the influencer.
But you're running a little bit of a side scheme. I like it.
Social media manager.
What's the setup? Run us through what's going on at the moment.
What's the app, Mum?
What's the-
Where
So
can
she's
people
on
find her?
Instagram.
Yeah.
What's her?
So Mum's created. She stopped talking about the dog like the dog has decided to do it itself. Mum has created an
Oh,
Instagram
my
account
God.
for her dog, and she's at the moment she's going through and basically adding all of our friends and girlfriends and everyone to like the page.
You can follow it at poppy11.11.22,
Oh, that's right.
which
Yeah.
is obviously a birthday,
Yeah.
hence the name Poppy.
No, that's when we got her.
Oh,
There you go.
The 11th of the 11th. That's right, yeah.
And so there's
Birthday
heaps of
today.
different adventures on there. What's probably been the most exciting thing that you've shared over the journey as the social media manager of Poppy?
So we've got this little gate so that she can't get down to like the boys' wing of the house. But
yeah, because
Oh, yeah.
she enters our room and then shreds up everything that's on
Yeah,
the floor.
So she's figured out how to open the gate, and so Riley, I think, videoed it.
Yeah. I was peeking around the corner one night. It was really late, and I saw her in her element sneaking through the gate.
So she opens the gate with her head,
Yeah.
goes for a bit of a wander, and then turns around and goes back through the reverse
so
end of
she
the gate.
stole a sock or something.
So not only can she
Riley's
get
room.
in, she can leave without really making
She
a
can't
scene.
anymore because now it's been locked off. So she
Okay.
can't.
Yeah.
That's a nice one. That's Poppy dressed up for Riley's 21st
Yeah,
In
only
a
a couple of
cave?
weeks ago.
for
In a
Riley's.
really nice photo.
Of the boys, a couple of the lads.
But my favorite part about the Instagram is that it's told in first person, so it feels like Poppy
Poppy
is
is
running. Yeah,
That's fair.
running the show.
And you've never had a daughter. I feel like you've always wanted a daughter. Now you've got Poppy as your daughter. You take her to the Poppy Park,
We do.
and she's a bit of a hit. Can you explain what Poppy gets up to at the park?
So there's two different dog parks we go to, and she just like runs mad around with all the other little dogs.
Runs
at,
amok.
at the dog park. Yeah, there's like a quiet side. Well, one's quiet side, boisterous side, and the other park's big dogs, small dogs. But so she's always in with little fluffy dogs and sausage dogs.
And does she
things like
prefer
that.
the boisterous or is she a quiet?
Oh no, she's in the quiet side. She's a bit boisterous.
She's probably the most boisterous of the
No,
quiet
there's
side.
one a lot more boisterous
Oh,
than her. That's like
yeah.
her bestie.
Shout out.
I've been petitioning to
what's
get them out.
What's their name? What's that dog's
Her
name?
name's Luna.
Oh, cool.
And she's black, but about the same size as Poppy. But she's just like the Energizer Bunny. That dog has got so much energy.
There you go.
So Poppy loves that. But actually, it's a bit like COVID's hit the dog park because there's kennel cough at the dog park at the moment.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Is that what you have?
Perhaps.
Are we sure?
So it's a spicy cough for dogs. And
Ooh.
so there's a shared dog bowl there, which Poppy doesn't really ever drink out of, but there's
Yeah.
also shared toys like tennis balls and ropes and stuff. So there's it's got its own Facebook page. So they've said maybe don't bring your toys to the dog park so they don't share spit. And
Yeah.
See, I would have thought it was
Yeah.
more like the licking of each other's asses that was going to
they
spread
don't
the,
lick each
spread the
other's-
germs
they
more so
smell
than
each
the,
Smell.
other's
I'm
bottles,
seeing
but
it.
they don't actually lick.
more so than the
But-
water
The
bowl.
taste is 90% smell.
We haven't been back anyway because I've got the spicy cough, so
Yeah.
she hasn't been back.
Yeah. And are you
Yeah.
friends with a lot of like the other pet owners there, or do you all kind of not talk to each
Oh
other?
no, we all talk to each other, but
It's
it's
very-
funny because you don't really know many of the human names at all. You know their dog
their
names.
dogs.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it is cute.
So it's like Luna's owner.
yeah,
Yeah, right.
We were at Taylor's footy only probably a month or so ago now, and a lady come up to Poppy and she knew Poppy and she was able to recognise who Mum was, but she knew us or Mum more specifically via Poppy.
Oh,
because
right.
she's got Daisy that we
Yeah.
see. at
And
the
then Mum
park.
mentioned, "Oh, you're Daisy's mum." Didn't know her name, just "You're Daisy's mum."
Yeah.
There you go. That's how they knew each other. So it's an interesting little world that they're living
It's
in.
very cute. And people, like, if you're going away for holidays, they tend to look after each other's dogs and that because the dogs already know each other. And then they take that dog to the dog park and
Oh.
you think, oh, where's their owner? Oh, no,
Yeah.
they're away. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
cute.
it's very cute.
Now, obviously, we have mentioned the big birthday coming up, but we wanted to ask you, what were you doing when you were our ages? So 21, 25, and 27.
Do you remember being 21? What was your 21st birthday like? What did you do in year 21?
I remember the house I was living in. I was just sharing with my bestie and a boy that we were friends with. And we went to a restaurant for my birthday with probably about 20 people.
That's pretty unreal.
And then went
Split bill?
night clubbing.
Sand. Full sand.
Which nightclub was still? What was the one to go
Gobbles
to?
we used to go to.
Boggles.
Gobbles.
What's that?
Gobbles nightclub.
Where was that? In the city?
So straight across the road from what's now RAC Arena. That used to be the entertainment centre. It was straight across the road, upstairs.
There you
Gobbles.
go.
And we used to go to another one called Muso's Club, backstage bar, Beethoven's. Yeah.
Yeah, fish
Beethoven.
out. Beethoven sounds like the place that Joey would hang out, I reckon.
Yeah.
And raffles. We just always went to the raffles. hotel.
Have you been back to the raffles? Because they do like old nights as well. So they do like a bit of like a retro night. I think that's what they call them. They call them like old nights. Probably don't. But they're like even on a Friday night, they'll be like, okay, this is for all the kids that were like born in the
And play our
60s
music.
or the 70s
Well,
or
it
the
used
80s.
to be live music. Pubs used to always have live music, and a lot of it was just cover bands. But gee, they were good. And then you'd have a band like In Excess playing at the raffles, or
That's crazy.
yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah,
Imagine
That
that.
would be dangerous.
CNN Excess.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Just seeing anyone. What about 25? What about Joey's age?
25. So I had worked for the state government since I was 18.
Yes.
So I got long service leave when I was 25 years
Very
old.
nice.
Oh, wow.
That's elite.
And went to Europe for a few months.
Where in Europe?
Went to England, France, Spain, Portugal,
Oh, fuck.
Greece.
And Mum was robbed.
I was
Yes.
robbed a couple of times.
Couple
Really?
of times.
Yes.
Yeah.
What
I
happened?
bought this nice gold chain, a thick gold chain. We went to this little
Yes,
island called Jersey,
Yeah.
which is in the Channel Islands,
Cool
and it's all duty free. Bought this really nice gold necklace that, you know, that's
Yeah.
what I was want to do with some money when I was away. And then I thought, what am I going to do? I'll wear it. That'll be the safest thing if I wear this thing. And then we're in somewhere in Italy. I can't remember actually what town we were in, but I had the two boys I was travelling with either side of me, and we all had our backpacks on, but two, you know, men standing either side of me. They were a little bit older than me. And this guy went past on a scooter, and I felt something on my neck. I thought, I don't know what that was. That was a bit weird. And then we saw him ride up the hill, and he waved my gold chain.
No
at
way.
me.
Oh, wow.
Up the hill.
How's he able to get the gold chain off you?
Just went like that and
Just
yanked
grabbed
it
it.
off
And
my
you
neck.
didn't fly forward. Was he going that
No,
quick?
it must have broken the link, you
Yeah.
know, that joined it or whatever. I wasn't expecting it anyway. Standing with two men, you're not expecting.
No.
But anyway, so that happened. And,
And
then
If anyone has any information, please call Crime Stoppers.
I was sitting in the train station in Rome, and the two boys went off. We were waiting for our train, and we just had all our backpacks all sitting around, and I was just sitting in amongst the backpacks reading a book or whatever, and a man came along and stole one of the backpacks. And I couldn't run after him because...
How many days after is this?
I don't know. Italy wasn't good for us.
Yeah,
and
fucking hell.
I couldn't run after the guy because I had all the other bags. I
Yeah.
didn't want to leave them.
Some Italian will steal that.
The police were watching the guy, so they grabbed him straight away. And then I couldn't ring the boys because it was before mobile phones.
Yeah,
so
true.
I was just waiting till they came back, and the police are speaking to me in Italian, you know, like, I don't know what you're saying. Like,
Yeah, right.
and then
We shot him on sight.
so the boys eventually came back, and it was a bit awkward because me and my boyfriend at the time had bought backpacks off a couple. I don't think we knew them, but their names were written inside the backpacks, and we just
Right,
never
yeah.
changed it.
Yeah.
And so then, you know, we're showing our passports, and
Mi
they're saying, well,
chiamo.
that's not your bag, that's not your
Oh,
name,
right.
whatever. Or it's just getting a bit
Julio.
confusing. And the man who they caught, he would have been in his late 40s probably, and quite an overweight man. I remember,
That's how I got him.
I remember he had this like
We
real
could've-
loud Hawaiian shirt on, and he's sweating, and but he was he had a photo of his family, and he was showing us the photo of his family, saying, "I can't go to jail," you know, like
Yeah.
enough in broken English that he didn't want us to press charges. And the cops have got a statement written out just wanting us to sign it. We didn't know what it was to
Yeah,
sign.
right.
Yeah.
So it was in Italian. And then our train came, so we just went,
And just took it off.
yeah, and off we went.
Yeah.
There you
And he
go.
was executed.
Don't know whatever happened to him.
And
Warrant.
lastly, what about when you were age 27? Can you have any memories from when you were 27?
27. So when I got back from that holiday, broke up with that boy, and then I didn't meet Dad, but Dad and I got together when I got back from that holiday. So then I was 25, 26. So 27, 28, I bought the house in Riverton.
Yeah,
So,
right.
Yeah,
That's fucking
that
elite.
was that year. Yeah, I was thinking
How much they
that,
slug you?
That's a good question.
$111,000.
And it was a big house on a
Yeah.
big block.
Yeah. So it'd probably be worth $1 million now, wouldn't it, that house?
Yeah,
Yeah.
wow.
Congrats.
Must
Yeah.
be nice.
That's huge. And then we only moved out of there in 2018, so you would have had that for fucking hell. 40
28 years, I think it was.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Scenes. And it
Yeah.
served us very well.
There you go.
Did, yes.
Mum, we've
Yeah.
obviously done this. Before we finish up your little yearly update, you've obviously been on every year for basically the last 3 or 4 years now. What do you hope for the next year? Give us something that we can time capsule, play back to you in 12 months. What are you hoping that either happens in your life or in our lives, or just a little bit of a play for the future in 12 months' time? Give us something.
I would like to be working less. I'm kind of, the less days you do at work, like when you're just working 5 days a week, 5 days a week, 5 days a week, you just accept it. And then I've cut down a bit. So I got down, I was doing 3 days each week. And now I've gone back up to 4 days one week, 3 days the other. The less you work, the less you want to work. That's what I figured. Like,
Okay.
the more you're home, the more you just think, I just want to stay home. I don't want to go to work. I don't
There you go.
want to be there anymore.
So it's a little bit more of a, we're just trying to speed
Yes.
up the retirement in the
Yeah.
next 12 months.
So we're hitting the lotto quite hard.
Okay. There you go. I like it. Well, that would be huge news if we come back in 12 months and we've dialed mum in. She's in Italy just trying to beat up on all these blokes who have stolen shit from her.
Yeah.
Giant gold chain.
Yeah, she's got 8 different gold chains on. There you go. We love it. So we'll play that back in 12 months and we'll
Check in.
see what's eventuated. I like it. Alrighty, boys. Very exciting indeed. Mum is joining us here on the panel. We're going to bring the energy up. Thank God it's
Friday.
Line. You know when they come out, yeah? 190 episodes.
I was
now.
waiting for Mum. I thought it was a call and response.
You might be waiting a while.
Ready, Mum? Thank God it's
Friday.
There we go.
There it
Please
is.
watch every episode and listen to every episode ever.
Bojana.
That's a deep
Message
cut.
us if you're still here, Bojana. I haven't heard from you in ages. Are you
Yeah.
alive? Are you
Is
alive?
the chat real? Is chat real?
Yeah, chat. Is Bojana.
No, Mum's
Right.
listening to every episode.
Chat is Bojana still alive? Question: dog's licking my foot, which is a very unfamiliar and a rather uncomfy feeling. We've allowed the dog in.
Jake's gonna have kernel cough.
We're going to play a game with Mum. Mum is in the studio. We've got a couple of games to play with her. She's going to host one in a matter of moments, but the one we're going to kick off literally in seconds is arguably one of my favourites. It's got a bit of a demographic twist on it this week. It's called the Slang Game. Usually we do Aussie slang and then we've got to work out what it is. But this time, it's generational slang.
Been trying to do my thing, but I've been hearing things lately. Funny sayings, I don't know what they mean. Now we're gathered here, I was wondering maybe, can you tell me maybe, what do these sayings mean? What's the saying? What's the saying? What's the saying? Tell me what's the saying?
Very exciting indeed. What's the saying? This, as I mentioned before, it's generational, this one. It's not necessarily just Australian stuff that we're talking about. It's going to be interesting little lingo. So the stuff that you're hearing the 15-year-olds at the local skate park saying when they're on their scooters.
At the fish and chip shop.
We are going to be playing against Mum. It's Jake and Junior Boy v Mum
what?
on this
We're
occasion.
teaming up. We're
Seems
tagged.
unfair.
We're tagged even more.
We want to see if we're going to organise like a setup where hopefully is it going to be all young themed stuff or is there a little bit of old person stuff?
Ooh. No, it's all young.
Okay,
themes.
heavy advantage to the blokes who are under 28.
Yeah.
And on the show regularly.
If Mum gets one,
Hello, dog. G'day, dog.
if Mum gets one, it's worth double points.
She'll be on my team. She
I like, yeah, that's fair enough. She's young.
The
She
dog just
brings
jumped
the,
on the table.
demographic, the median age down a touch. Joey, kick us off, my man.
Yeah. So, Mum, do you know the rules?
Nah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Watches every app. So the game is basically Joey will read out a word or a saying per se, and it's up to us to guess in the nick of time what
So do we
it
just
means.
How about we
yell
let-
out our answers?
Yeah.
We
And Mum
normally
can
do a
have
write
the-
down. We normally do a write down. So we might let Mum write down on your pad.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Riley was just trying to eat his sleeve.
There you go.
If you're watching on YouTube, congratulations, because you're getting quite the experience. If you're listening at the moment, I don't know if Poppy's in the shot or not, but she's very much involved in this week's episode of the pod. We just allowed her into the room, and my goodness,
she
she's
was-
making the most of that.
She was crying through the whole last segment.
We just couldn't
She's
deal
going to
with
be
it.
touching Mom.
There you go. Okay, Joey's going to read out the first one, Mum, and then we are going to write down our answers for
Okay,
said
don't cheat.
statements. I'm going to go first, Junior Boy, and you can go the second one.
I
Right?
reckon I'm going to know all of this.
All right, maybe we'll just go Mum and I then. Maybe.
Yeah, that
that
could be
might be
good.
better. Okay, it might just be a Mum versus Jake, the two old hats. Here we go.
All right. The first one is common L.
Okay. I think I'm going to go with. I think I know what I'm going to go with.
The phrase is common L.
Wait, can we get No,
You
you can't really.
say it.
Yeah, you can't really get that.
What do you think that means, Mum? Common L. 2 words.
Yeah.
One's a letter.
One's common.
I guess that could have not been a letter though. So I have given a little hint for this first one.
Oh, did you think that Mum might have thought it was like L, like El Pasador?
Yeah.
Common L.
Yeah.
Common L, like he's a cousin.
Yeah. Common L.
Alright.
Mum, what do you think the term common L means?
Take a wild guess. A stab in the dark.
Common as in C.
Yep. No, the answer is no to that.
SKC.
Common. COMMON.
Yep.
Common.
Common. Yep.
So it's something.
If it was a spelling bee, you'd be doing well.
So it's something that is.
Reoccurring.
Yep.
It's common.
Yeah.
So yeah.
L. So what's the L stand for?
We're not sure that's the part of the game. That's sort of the crux of what we're doing.
I'm just thinking.
I'm
All
thinking
right.
out loud.
Joe's got 7 of these, so we're gonna have to quicken up on the old thinking game.
Common
People are going to make it to their drive at work.
language. I don't know.
Okay, Mum's going with
Ooh,
common
common
language.
language. Ooh.
I'm gonna lock in. Common L means like it's a bad thing. Like you're a bit of a loser. It's more of a loser about an act than it is about a person. So like,
The L stands for loser.
yeah, more like if I've smacked my skateboard on my knee, that's a common L. That's a common L.
Yeah, I would almost,
Yeah.
in layman's, I think Jake definitely gets the points.
Well, thank
there.
you, mate. I
But
appreciate
like a W is a win, an L is a loss. To get a
Oh.
common L, so you could, for example, I'd be like, common mum L.
Yeah.
Oh, that means she's an old lady.
Mum always loses at this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
Or like if mum posted something cool in the group chat, you'd be like, common mum W.
Yeah.
And like mum's always winning.
There's always
so
haters
it's
in the
like
chat.
it's like this is a
What are you
loss.
expecting to happen?
Yeah,
It's
this
cla-
is
I mean, it
bad,
just means like classic mum.
and
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
expecting it to be bad because of the birth.
Because it's you, yeah.
Oh, these kids.
Okay, nice. So it's
Yeah.
1-0 to me. We're gonna go another one, Joey.
That was close though.
The next one we got is a no cap.
Okay, mum.
Ooh,
What do you reckon no cap
No
means?
cap.
Now I've heard this heaps, and I must
reckon we
admit
gotta
I'm
be
not
way
very,
harsher on Jay.
I'm not very confident with anything that is about to come down here. Okay, I'm just gonna write
Say it
one.
again?
One
No
word.
No
cap.
cap.
No cap.
What do you
No cap.
What do you think no cap means, Mum? And it just as a little one, it's not like a cappuccino water or anything to do with coffee.
No cap.
What have you written
I
down?
don't even know why.
I wrote down no cap
Okay, you can't be wrong, I guess.
just to remind myself.
So
So,
what-
no cap.
Yeah,
So
talk us through it.
I reckon so. Cap might be captain,
Okay.
and you're not the captain, so you're a bit of a loser.
Like it actually makes more
Makes a lot of
sense
sense.
than
Yeah,
what it
because I
actually
don't know.
means.
Do you want to guess?
I think it just means like it's legit. Is probably
Yeah.
yeah.
To cap is to lie.
Like, I just got a hole in one, no cap.
Yeah.
means
So if you,
legit.
it means that it's
I'm not
truth. You're
because
telling the
cap
truth.
Why is cap? Why
Well,
does
capping
it mean
means
lie?
lying.
What does?
Cap. Capping.
In whose language?
Capping.
Just Eshe language.
Oh,
yeah.
well, there you go.
Harlem language.
Is there an Eshe dictionary I should have?
Oh, maybe that could be the birthday present in a matter of weeks.
No, I don't care that much.
I'm gonna go 2-0 to me.
Yep.
The phrase, oh my God.
Signing.
I have to sign into Google to look at it. If someone is capping,
That's cap,
they're
right?
lying. The phrase is rooted in African American vernacular, or maybe. Okay, maybe I won't go. with
Okay,
this.
don't.
Okay, move on. That's just a 2. It's a 2. Don't want to get cancelled. No cap.
I didn't read it.
Common Riley L. Am I right, guys? Toot toot. All right, next.
All right, the next one we got is NPC.
N.
NPC.
It's an acronym. NPC. Or maybe Jake doesn't know.
Oh
what
yeah,
it is.
genuinely not
I mean,
sure.
if Jake doesn't know when he loses 3
This is
points.
fun.
So is it not politically correct?
Oh,
close.
That's very close.
Not really.
So that would be-
But it's also
that
an
would-
acronym.
That would be non-PC. But this is NPC. It's a different acronym.
Yeah.
I actually genuinely don't know. I genuinely don't
Do
know.
you know how it's used?
You got 33% of that right, Mum. You got the non right.
Yeah, you did get the non right.
The PC is different. Do you know, Jake?
I genuinely don't know. No, I'm at a loss.
Can you lock in what you think first?
Yeah,
Jake?
have a guess.
I would say it. I was actually going to go with what Mum went initially, which was like it's not very PC to say that.
Can I give Mum a hint?
Yeah.
It has to do with video games.
That's like- that's-
NPC. It's a video game.
Yeah, it's a
vernacular.
video game term. All right, I don't think they were going to get it.
No, non-playable conversion.
Ooh,
Ooh, close.
Oh,
It's a non-playable character.
oh,
Yeah. So some people say, so you know when you play like Animal Crossing or something like that, and there are
Yeah.
people who just live on the island
Oh yeah.
and they just talk in very basic.
Yeah.
Oh, how's your day?
Yeah.
If you see like someone in real life,
Oh, yeah.
and they're like a little non-playable
Yeah.
character in a game.
They're just on the edge.
That's an
kind of.
NPC. Yeah.
Okay, good. We all learned a little bit there.
It's-
So 2-0.
Yeah, it kind of came into layman's terms of like someone who's like doesn't have much personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You call them a.
Like, there's
as an
nothing
NPC.
going on back.
Yeah.
back
Yeah, or like the guy who works at the local IGA. He's an NPC to you.
yeah, he
Because
just
he
sells you
doesn't
the
have like a
groceries.
character. He's just like, he just scans the fruit. That's what he does for you. You can't play with that character. He's a non-playable character.
Yeah. So that'll.
All right, the next one.
You should be playing with anyone, all right?
This is a word that you'll all know, but I'm looking for the origin.
The fuck, this game's taking a turn. All right.
The
Hit us with a
word
joke.
is eshe.
Oh,
Ah.
I don't know the.
So you want an origin?
Where
What's-
does eshe come from?
It's an
Do you know what it-
It's an Australian term.
I don't.
Do you know what an
No.
esche is?
Yeah.
man?
I don't
Fuck
know.
it, when do you say origin? What do you mean then?
They wear
Why is it
red
called
Reeboks.
eshe?
Okay, explain esche then, Mum. That's
They
basically.
wear red Reeboks.
Pretty well.
You just got it.
and,
That's not bad.
and they kind of like think they're cool and they have big loud jewelry on and mullets and
Yeah.
You're describing your son. So,
Yeah.
it's gone, it's gone, it's gone.
It's gone. Yeah, no, it's basically just like a wannabe.
Yeah, a young derelict. We used to call in my generation. We used to call them deros,
Yeah,
Terrors.
and then they became what are they now?
they were
Eshe.
fuck
Eshes.
boys for a bit.
Whoa,
Oh,
whoa!
your word.
Our mums on the podcast.
Do you know where it comes from, Jack?
Eshes.
Esh.
I did not. I didn't. I just explain it. Doesn't it mean?
No,
No,
but that's
where
not
does
the word. Where does the word come from?
Oh,
Did you say it's Australian?
I think
I'm
it
not
is.
sure if
I'm like
it's 100%
99% sure.
So
it
it comes from, it's Pig Latin for the word sesh.
sachets.
Eshe is like you take the front of it and put it to the end. I mean, eshe,
Ah.
sesh,
Uh,
which means a cheeky sesh of smoking
the weed.
the weed.
They also do.
Yep.
They'll add on to esche was adlay, and that's also Pig Latin for lad.
Lad.
Sesh lad, esche adlay.
Yeah.
It was a way so that people wouldn't
Didn't know what
they're
you're talking about.
Well, we all know now.
So like, if you say to a cop, "Let's go with esche,"
Yeah.
it's a way of hiding. Let's go with sesh.
Yeah.
all right, there you go.
There's
Nice.
an opcat.
That was
Yeah.
good. It's quite intellectual, isn't it, when you think about it?
Yeah.
It's quite smart.
Yeah.
All right, I reckon we'll wrap up
I
with
like that one. Sounds like a great
more.
idea.
Best of six.
We got bussin'.
Okay. What's bussin' mean, Mel?
Bussin'.
She's quick to the pad with this one.
No, I'm just writing it down so I remember.
Visual learning.
Bussin'.
Again, this game has been tougher than I thought. You know what all these mean, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. There's only 6 years between Riley and I,
Yeah.
but it does speak volumes about like the corporate world versus the people who he hangs
Yeah.
out with when he paints trains.
If I was to spell
Yeah.
bussin' mum
You mean
instead of that,
Rante.
it would be BUSSIN apostrophe.
Apostrophe, of
yeah.
course.
How'd you spell it?
BUSSEN is the way mum spells it.
Oh.
Busan.
Bussin'.
Bosom.
Yeah, but
It's
it's
spelled
like,
like bussing.
but there's an apostrophe to
But there's
signal
no
Instead of
G.
the G.
bussin'
Bussin'.
apostrophe.
Yeah.
That's
I don't-
bussin'.
I don't know.
So it's
Bussin'.
nothing to do with public transport. I think.
Are you taking the train? Nah, man.
That's
I'm bussin'.
Yeah, there you go.
Is that what you thought?
Oh, it's the closest I'm gonna get. I
Less
think.
so now. I'm going to say it means like, that shit's cool, man. That shit's bussin'.
Yeah, it's a shortened version of the word busting.
Yeah, it means busting. Like,
Oh.
it's mainly I would use it in like to describe food or something.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh. Or
like a
those
movie.
potato gratin are busting.
Yeah. That movie was
How
bussin'.
how does that
Last night was bussin', bro.
What did you say it means? It means it's popping out.
Busting.
Busting. It just means it's really
Busting.
good.
Yeah, it just meant it's going off. It's bustin', bro. Bustin'.
Like this segment was busting.
You can be a judge. From one game into another, one of our favourites here on the podcast. For those who, we've mentioned this a couple of times now, we are brothers.
Facts.
A lot of people who listen are unaware that we're brothers.
So
Hopefully,
we share this mum.
yeah. So who's like, on reflection, whose mum is sitting here? It's an interesting one, nonetheless. It's one of our favourite games here on the podcast. It's called Best Bro.
I could be the best.
And this week, Mum has a lovely story about the three brothers that she's going to
It's not
share
that
with.
lovely.
Oh boy, here we go.
Are those pants your favorite pants?
Since you were one, you
You had that mole on your back. Said you were fine, but I knew you were lying. Will I be the best bro tonight? Garlic aioli is your favorite dip. And did you laugh? Tell me, were you pissed? When did you cry? Was that your favorite club? Will I be the best bro tonight? I could be the best bro, maybe. I could guess your middle name. You think I'm so goddamn clever. I know your favorite takeaway.
It's Best Bro, boys. Very exciting. My mum is obviously on the podcast on this fine episode 191. And she is going to take the first and only ball for this week's episode, or this week's edition of Best Bro. Best Bro is basically a game where someone has a story that centers around a question, and we have to guess who the sort of story is related to. And usually, we've got to fill in the blank. There's usually a story, and then a fill in of the blank, and we come up with what will inevitably be the answer.
I stuck
to
this
the
object
story.
up my rectum. What was the object?
Yeah, exactly
That was the
right. There
thing.
you go. And
Which time?
exactly. That's when the game gets tough, because there's a plethora of options.
That's
Mum, what is the story and the question?
So it's not really a story; it's just a question.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Because I was trying
a
to
short
think.
one.
I was trying to think of something that you all wouldn't know straight away. you know.
Okay.
But
Joey's
Who-
adopted.
who who was the first one to drop an F-bomb in front of Nan?
Wow. Great question. I'm genuinely not sure. I don't think I would.
Surely you remember the story. Like, tell the.
Do you remember when it happened?
Tell the circumstance.
that'll
what
give it
happened.
away.
Okay, maybe we'll guess. Let's
Alright.
just put in our complete raw dog guesses.
Oh, okay.
Joey, guess first.
Riley.
I think
It's 100% not him. I don't think he's ever
Yeah.
said it.
I
He-
never heard
Mind
of
you, we
that.
went and saw Nan on the weekend, and he was cursing her out like no, it's
Yeah.
no one's business. I would say it's going to be, you're the heavy favourite.
Hey.
The only thing giving me an advantage here is the 6 year
6
tenure.
years.
Yeah.
No, I reckon when Riley started to swear, it was like pissing into the wind.
Yeah,
There
it
was
was.
no-
Yeah, it didn't matter who.
Yeah.
We were all just copping a spray. I'm going to say Riley. I
Yeah.
reckon Riley would have dropped a juicy F.
All right. I'll take one for the team and say Jake.
I reckon the context of this, if it is you, will be absolutely pissing funny. Mum, give us the answer.
What was the story?
I'm sure you're
Tell
all
the
playing along
story.
at home. You know us well enough. I'm sure you've
you
got
remember
your-
that time with Nan, right?
So the story was, and so my mum never swore. I remember her saying, oh no, I said shit in front of her once when I was probably about,
43.
and I was 18, so I was still living at home. And I had my jumper pulled over my legs like that.
Nice.
And I was sitting on the edge of a table, and I started to fall.
Just
and
don't
I
forget about the microphone. Yeah.
And I just fell straight on my face because I couldn't get my legs out.
Right.
My arms must have been in there too. Anyway, and I landed, face planted on the ground, and I just went, shit. And Mum's like, oh, you can't swear, whatever. And then I said to her,
Who said that?
If you did,
You said fuck off.
if you did that, you would say shit as well. I swear, 15 minutes later, because we were cleaning out my brother's room, you can imagine what that was like. And there was a
Little drive by for you.
drawing pin on the floor, and Mum stepped on it, went right into her foot, and she said shit. And that was the first time I'd ever heard my mum say
Like
shit.
15 minutes later.
Oh, about that, you know,
Oh,
like in
wow.
the same,
day,
clean up
same-
of the
oh,
same.
wow, there you
room.
go. Oh, we
Floodgates
like
were open.
Yeah.
Rains at board.
So when I saw her, she said, "G'day, cat."
Anyway, so that's how much my mum didn't swear. So
wow.
we were down at Mandurah, and we'd been driving in the car, and the boys were asleep in the back of the car.
gonna be me.
In their little car seats.
It's going to be me.
And there was a favourite bakery that we used to go to.
The Miami Bakehouse.
Yeah, it was.
Shout
And
out, it's still
so
elite.
I ducked into the Miami Bakehouse to get us some lunch, and we were going to drive back to our little holiday house and eat the lunch. But someone woke up in the car and Mummy wasn't there.
And I used to flip whenever, and I still get like,
And how
I
old
still
was
get
he?
weird
He
separation
would have been
anxiety.
about 4, I
Yeah,
reckon.
right.
Oh wow. So
I've
he's
been-
not even living at this point.
I actually remember this shit.
Yeah. I can't exactly remember what you said, but there was an F in there, and Mum just was like,
That's crazy.
She
You-
ascended.
I was
oh
so
my
annoyed.
God. I don't know if I'd ever heard you say it even.
Because
but-
I was born, like I literally built claustrophobia up as a kid as well. And you'd be strapped into this little chair. And I don't sleep. When I sleep, I get quite hot, especially when I was young. We're in a hot
It's hot,
Australia. I'm in a, yeah, fuck
Still
off.
gets hot.
I'm in a hot, like you're in the hot car. And I vividly remember waking up on this drive and I was strapped into this fucking seatbelt. And then I'd woken up. And all you want when you wake up is your mum, right?
Still.
And then, and I was just, I vividly remember Nan was sitting, I think she was sitting next to me, and me and Joe were on either side.
Yeah.
And I vividly remember and Nan gave me, she was trying to be she wouldn't let me out of the fucking belt either. I don't know if she thought I was going to run off or what, but like we worked out that she just like loosened it, or maybe she couldn't work out how to undo it. But I was stuck in this fucking chair and I was so annoyed. And she ended up giving me, it's crazy what you can remember from traumatic experiences, but she gave me this little green box that used to wind up and it had a little song. Like that was going to calm me down. And we played with that for like 10 minutes. But I very, very, very vividly remember how like absolutely pissed off I was. Like I reckon that's arguably the most angry I ever was as a 4-year-old kid by a distance.
And you weren't even there, Mum.
No, it's in the
You just
shop.
got told about it
I
after.
did.
I remember when you came back
Yeah.
and it was like, imagine like the most intense situation you've ever seen, but the main character has walked out of the room and then reappeared, and all this shit's like she's walked out, it's calm, and she's walked back,
And I've come back
like,
with lunch thinking,
yeah.
oh, this is nice.
and I'm like, fucking damn, fuck off, lad. Like I was in real, because I used to get all the time in the swing. I used to swing, and used to be locked into the swing, and the amount of times I'd like fall asleep in the swing, because Mum would push me, and then I'd fall asleep when I was very young. And then I'd wake up and Mum wasn't there. I always used to think I was going to get left behind.
Yeah, he's just dead.
It was like a genuine fear I had, was when I woke up, circumstances had changed. And I don't even
left you in the swing. I would have still been there.
Yeah, 100%, but like you're behind me and I wake up, I get like it now. Like I could have a nap, and if Taylor's had a nap before and then I've gone to sleep and I wake up and she's not there, immediately I get like a little bit like someone's left me behind. Like
Where's she gone? Where's
yeah,
she
I don't know
gone?
what it's like, this weird separation anxiety with when you went to bed circumstances were versus when you wake up. But I remember that.
I think Nan probably still remembers that. Even though she's got dementia, I reckon she would still remember that.
Yeah, that was
You should ask
crazy.
her.
Do you remember when he first swore? I don't think Joe would have ever sworn in front of Nan.
There were a few times.
Maybe not necessarily.
It was a heated thing, yeah.
What about Riley? Can you remember the first time Riley dropped bombs?
Oh, it's just normal by then.
Yeah.
Everyone was doing it.
Yeah, that's what I want to talk about. Like, when we were a kid, I remember swearing was like a big thing. Like, bro, you can't say that. And now, like, well, mainly Dad, like every second word is it.
Yeah, but I'll be
But when
talking
did that
to
like
Dad.
change over?
Even Dad, yeah, I mean, we call each other words, and it's like,
Yeah.
sometimes I'm like, I wonder if other people do that.
The
I
best.
think that when your friends are here and we're swearing in front of each other, and I think, do your friends think
We're a bit rogue.
Mum's got a potty mouth, hasn't she?
Yeah, but
But, like,
Dad's
when we
real-
were a kid, you guys didn't swear much.
No.
Nah, not
And
at
then
all.
someday, and then at one point, it was like, well, the
lid's
levy-
off.
Floodgates have opened.
the levee's broken.
Dad now uses it. He will literally swear in areas that the word doesn't make sense. Like
Pushing the barriers of the English language.
he literally will just drop f-bombs in between other f. I've literally watched him go fuck and like then repeated. It's like a stutter.
Pod fucking cast kind of thing.
Yeah, and then you're like, no, that's the same word. you can't
don't need
swit.
it.
You can't swit a word by just putting fuck in it. But there you go.
There you go.
Learning. So that was a lovely little trip
stuff,
down memory
And in
lane.
my dad's whole life, I heard him say that word once, the F-bomb. What was he doing? His upper ladder. I think he fell or...
off a ladder.
No,
Fair enough.
I don't know. Something to do with a ladder. And he said that. And then
He didn't know you were there.
No, and I think I just quietly turned and walked off.
Goodness
There you
gracious
go.
me.
So
Nice.
swearing wasn't a big thing in our household. Where we
It is
really
now.
picked up.
Alrighty, boys, time for one of our favourite weekly segments here on the MacPack podcast. In fact, it's our only weekly segment. It's time for our Everyday Hero, Joey Boy.
Ooh.
Take it away.
Yes, I have an everyday hero. But first, we got to go back to the 90s.
Nice.
In the late 90s, there was a TV show in Japan, a
Okay.
reality TV show. And Japan is known for having some crazy shows. We all know they've got crazy shows.
Like what?
Like this one, where basically what they did was they took a guy who's a comedian. He wanted to, be more popular. So he applied to be on this TV show. It's like a contest kind of game show thing. So he's like, yeah, well, I'll sign up for that. It'd be good for the old career. And then
Korea?
they, a bit of foreshadowing. But they end up, so basically they get the guy. I don't know if they blindfold him at this point, but they take him to this apartment. They open the door, then they tell him to strip.
Nice.
And then they say, basically, you have to live in this apartment. Here are all these magazines. You can mail in and enter these like sweepstakes.
Yeah.
Until you win 1 million yen. Good luck.
How many did you get?
A lot of sweepstakes, Santa. So he's got no food, no clothes, no.
Oh my god!
And then it's just, mate, good luck. He's like, oh, by the way, you got to change the.
Oh,
the dog's
We
on
got a
the
dog
table.
on the table.
The
Dog
dog is
on the table.
this hasn't happened before.
Doggy on the
Yeah.
table.
Oh,
As long
if
as
she's gonna sit
as long as
there,
she
then
doesn't
that's
shit
fine.
on the table, I think we're. Well, I've seen the dog shit in a few places over the journey. Continue.
Yeah, so the guy, he's naked, he's in the room, and he's just got to start entering these competitions. Oh, and every 2 hours he's got to change the tape in the camera.
They're filming him naked.
Yeah, this is the show.
Yeah, okay.
And he has to change the tape.
Yeah.
I feel like he can't.
And what's the game in the magazine?
It's like sweepstakes. Like,
What does that mean?
Lotto.
Sweepstake.
yeah, kind of. You just mail. It's like if you write into us, you enter the competition, and then you might win stuff.
But so what is it? A weekly draw? So there's no way he's going to win me for a week.
Yeah. No, he was in there for a couple year
He was
and a
in there a
bit,
year, no longer than a year.
Year and a bit with no food, no
year and
water.
a half ish, 15 months.
Well, he would have
A
died.
bit longer. No, he won some rice and stuff but he didn't have anything to cook it in, so he kind of made it into like a sludge thing.
And people were watching this.
Well, he didn't know at the time because he was like, oh, this might go to air eventually or whatever. We're not 100% sure. But yeah, he was there. He never won any clothes. He won a bunch of stuff that was like not useful to him at all.
He had no clothes.
Yeah, no, he was
They
naked
stripped
the whole
him the
time.
moment he got in.
Naked.
Yeah, and
On TV.
well, they covered his
Genitals.
bits with an eggplant. And
Oh,
basically, he's
that's
just
quite humorous, isn't it?
slowly descends into madness. And then they would cut it up because it was airing. It was became a big hit actually in Japan.
What was his family doing though?
Yeah, I don't know. But another thing is like the door's not locked. Like he could have left.
Is that part of the social experiment?
Yeah, that's the thing. It was a psychological experiment.
Did
Try
he
the
know
door?
that it was locked?
No, I think he knew it wasn't locked, but he was like, "Oh, I
But
kind of
he never
committed.
left.
I committed to this thing. I got to do it." And then I think,
Which is fun for about a week.
yeah, but I think at this point he had kind of like started to lose a bit because of the no food and being naked and being completely by himself. And then he ends up winning enough to like win to get out of it. So then they come and they blindfold him again, and then they take him somewhere. And then he's in Korea, as Jake foreshadowed. He's in Korea, and he's like, they gave him clothes up at this point. He's like, mate, we're in Korea. Let's go.
Did he want to be in Korea?
And then they take him. We're like, oh, we're just seeing the sights and whatever. And then they take
Not
him up.
North Korea.
No, south. And then they take him up to like another apartment thing. They open the door. It's exactly the same
Oh my
setup as
God.
the other place. Strip him again. You got to keep doing the sweepstakes until you can get an airfare back home.
No, and this was like 18 months after the first
No,
one.
this was, I can't remember exactly how long, but it was like a year or something. It was crazy long. And then he was in Korea for a while doing the sweepstakes. I think he was telling the guy like, this isn't happening. But the producer guy like convinced him because this guy's like malnourished and stuff. And then so he does that. He's also naked again. And then he finally wins enough.
Loves mentioning that, doesn't he, Joe?
Wins enough sweepstakes.
Then he keeps licking his lips. I'm not sure he goes
So then they bring him, because he doesn't know anyone in Korea. He has no idea why he's in Korea. And they bring him back to Japan after he finally wins that stuff.
How long did that take him?
I can't remember. So I think all in all, he was in there for like 15 to 18 months. I can't remember exactly. And then they bring him back to Japan. They put him into a room, right?
No.
Exact same setup. I don't think he was naked at this point because then they're like, all right, good luck, mate. They like shut the door. And then the walls collapse. And he's in a studio audience because he has become like a beloved celebrity in Japan because everyone watches this show. And everyone's cheering and stuff. And he doesn't even know he was on TV.
And they've been watching it.
He just starts like kind of freaking out a bit.
As you would.
Yeah. And then so this happened in, I think he was in there from like 1999 to like 2000.
So he missed the millennia.
Or something. Yeah, he was in there for ages. And there's recently been a documentary about it that's come out called The Contestant. And it's just like a crazy story. It's like basically tortured this guy for like ages.
But then he got famous.
Yeah, he got kind of famous, yeah, I guess, but not for something that he would like. But the thing that
For the eggplant
I found,
mainly.
the reason why
Good girl.
he's the everyday hero is because I listened to a podcast about this guy. That's how I heard about it. And I was like, man, that's like crazy.
He's still with us?
Yep. He did a Reddit AMA 20 days ago, kind of promoting the new documentary and stuff.
Oh, so he's had a hand in doing it. So
The
like,
documentary, yeah. I think
so
he's-
how's the coughing going?
Sorry.
Okay. None of us will be here next week. Look how close she's licking the dog, and she's wondering, "Oh no, I don't have the dog sickness."
What did you call the dog sickness?
kennel cough.
Kennel cough.
Yeah. So obviously,
It's a lot happening.
if this happened to you, what would you want to
At
do?
least damages for like the money, a lot of cash as a result.
Yeah, and if you saw that producer guy again,
Kill him.
Oh yeah, he'd be dead. He'd be well and truly.
so there's a Korean movie called Old Boy in which similar thing happens, but this guy gets captured and he's locked in an apartment for like decade or something like that for ages.
Yeah.
And then that movie basically the guy breaks out and then he goes after everyone with a hammer.
And
Okay.
it's fiction.
Yeah, it's fiction. So the person says, how do you feel about the film Old Boy? Have you ever thought about using a hammer to get revenge? And he replies, this was 20 days ago. He replies, I was actually invited to a special screening of Old Boy in 2014. I think because I had a similar experience with the movie. I couldn't watch it without tearing up. It made me revisit many of the memories I had from Dempa Shonen, which is the name of the show that he was on. Instead of revenge, I would like to use that energy for something more positive, like helping people. And then later on, people say like, watching your old videos, was there anyone in the production you wanted to beat up or just yell at for making you so frustrated? I'm asking because some of the clips, it looked like you were so done you could kill someone because you were that.
Yeah, as you'd
Done.
expect. Yeah, he's in there for fucking 18 months.
And
That'd
he
be pretty
says,
done.
I never thought of solving a problem with
I was
violence.
pretty done after one little trip to the bakery. Remember, I was trapped in that little chair.
He says, I never thought of solving the problem with violence because violence doesn't solve anything. But then, would I want to sue them and punish them by law? The answer would be no, because that would make people sad and injured. And that's not what I want to do. Even if I get hurt, I want to protect people around me. So I think it's like, the reason why he's their everyday hero is because like,
Just a nice
he
dude.
went through this like horrible thing and he's still like such a positive, like he's been able to get past it and be such a
He's
positive
got a
guy.
mad perspective on the world.
But they've got a real different philosophy too, haven't they?
Who's
You
they?
Who's
saw
they, yeah.
Japanese people.
Okay.
Because
Ooh.
you
So-
saw them. Where was the Olympics last time?
Wow.
Tokyo?
Was
Different country.
it? No, but they would clean the whole stadium before they left. They like
Oh, that's a good.
Oh,
point.
the
yeah,
other
yeah.
nations would just get up and walk out.
Extraordinarily grateful. Is it like built into the culture? Do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
he
just have
said,
it-
because people said, why didn't you leave? Like, why didn't you do something? And he was like, I made a commitment to it. And that's like my Japanese spirit is like, if I say I'm going to do something, I'm
Your
gonna
word is
do
your
it.
everything.
Wow.
There you go, crazy. Well, we absolutely love to hear it, Joey. That is a wild story that I'm sure not many people have heard. I'm not sure. I don't know many people who follow the Japanese news quite as closely as our man Joey.
Yep.
Especially when there's tag at naked as well. That's when Joey's
Yeah,
That's it.
really sparks Joey's attention. But yeah, thank you for bringing it to us. You did show us earlier that the movie's going to be on.
Yes,
In
it's
a
called
festival.
The Contestant. It will be on at the Sydney Film Festival.
Huge.
So there you go. We might have
What's
to.
his name? Do you tell
Oh,
us?
his name is,
Here we go.
I forget his actual name, but the name he was given, like his nickname is
Eggplant Eddie.
Nasubi, because they used an eggplant to cover his junk. His junk in the video, which I think is the first use of the eggplant in that
Congratulations.
way. But they also said his face was kind of long, so it looked like an eggplant.
That's not the only thing that was long. That's why this week's everyday hero is going to Eggplant Eddie. What did you call him?
Nasubi.
Nasubi! Alrighty, boys, that just about brings us to the end of another episode of the podcast. Mum, thank you so much for joining us here on the MacPack Pod, episode 191. Are you impressed that we've done 191 episodes quickly?
Absolutely. Can't believe it.
When you joined us? She's just eating the cord. She might not make it to 92.
He's trying to put a stop to it. Thanks, Bobby.
Stop eating the cold, Mum.
You joined us on it would have been like episode 3, episode 4. How long did you think we sort of had in us at that very point in time?
10.
I didn't think it'd still be going, 3 years later?
3.5 years now.
Yeah.
There you go. You didn't give us a time. How long do you reckon it would have?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's fair enough. That's sort of when we got all the equipment and shit. It's when the phone.
How long do you reckon we'll go until?
It won't stop.
Forever.
We won't stop. We'll be like Nagachi, man, naked. We'll do a few naked eps.
All right.
Just trying to win shit. What and we doing? We might as well just finish up with a little bit of a introspective look. We've been doing some radio stuff. What are your thoughts about the stuff we've been doing on radio? Mum's our biggest fan.
Yeah, very exciting. I listen every time, of course.
There you
Yeah,
go.
big ups to Mum.
If it's at 4 in the morning or whatever.
Yeah, when me and Jake are barely awake at 2:30 a.m. presenting in Mount Lawley to no one.
Well, yeah.
We know that someone's listening because it's our mum.
Mum's
Yeah.
listening.
It is, yeah, it's very lovely to
And
see.
Poppy texts in sometimes.
She
doesn't
does. It's very nice to see when we're in there at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in the morning.
Sorry about the cough.
Shame Mum will probably be dead by the sound of the cough before our next stint. Our only fan.
Pardon the pun.
Dead. Well, there you go. What else was I going to ask? I had another question. Oh, best advice. Just some advice. So you're obviously going to have a huge birthday in a matter of weeks. We had a bunch of people basically reach out and ask us, not necessarily because of your age, but because you're a
Wisdom.
mainly because you've been around for a little bit longer than us. If you had like a key to life, what would your sort of quote or key to life be as you're venturing into retirement?
I just think, and you boys are already doing it, you should make the most of every opportunity. Like, something can just start off quite small and then snowball. So you can either take that opportunity and go for it or just ignore it. And if you ignore it, then you'll never know how far that could have gone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like
100%.
when a bunch of Japanese producers strip you naked and shove you in a room, just go with it.
Go for the flow, Nagachi.
for as long as
No
you
cap, bro.
need. I feel like I had one more question, but I've completely forgotten it. Anything from you, boys?
Nah, it's pretty good.
Anything from you?
No, done.
Are you happy I cut my mullet off, Mum?
So happy. So very, very happy. Thank you, Shona.
Thank you, Shona. It probably won't come up again. But I remember when I got to work, I didn't mention that. I was mentioned this last week. When I got to work for the first time since cutting my hair,
Yes.
I was like, you're walking into the office. I only told my direct manager that it was happening as well. And then I walk in and my desk
No,
is
you told him because you didn't tell any of us.
her.
No.
And
Oh.
and I walked in and she looked up at me and was like, "Oh, you did it!" And then everyone in my little section all flick their head and they're like, "Oh wow, holy shit, oh, wow, that's cool, right?" And that's like 6 people. And then literally the entire office stood up. This is like a big office, like
And
massive
applauded.
open
How many people?
floor space. 50. All of them stand up and they're all looking at me. I just see their heads over our little like cut off things on the
Yeah.
yeah. And just see everyone's head pop up and everyone's like, "Oh my god, Riley, you did it, you did it, you did it." And then a
like-
massive round of applause.
Oh.
So they
Like,
hated
what
the
the
mullet.
fuck's
They
going on?
hated the
We all
mullet, man.
hated the mullet.
Yeah, I was
We
like,
were going to have
"What's
to let
going
him
on?"
go.
That shit smelled.
But yeah, everyone was clapping and stuff. I was like, this is like,
Oh, did you bow or something?
Yeah, what did you do? Pretty awkward situation for you to be in.
I was just talking to the.
But pretending that clapping wasn't going
I
on.
was just like, yeah, da da da. Whoa, thumbs up,
Thanks,
cheers,
everybody.
guys.
There you go.
Do they think you do it for charity or something?
Yeah. What are you doing? Why are you clapping? But it's like,
You're-
yeah, it's just weird.
Was it a slow cut? Or did someone start it with a slow like,
Weren't-
you legend?
Didn't they describe you when you first started as...
Yeah.
the-
Here's Riley. He's got a mullet.
Yeah.
We've got a new guy starting. He's young and he has a mullet.
Yeah.
That was it.
Pass the baton.
That's it. Yeah, funny though. What a weird everyone. I mean, appreciate the love, but wasn't expecting a round of applause from 50 people I've had only small talk
You
with
should
for the
have
last
taken
5
it
Yeah.
and sent it to your hairdresser.
yeah.
On reflection, you probably should have charitied it off. You could have made a fair amount of cash.
Well, in hindsight, probably shouldn't have cut it. But here we are.
There you go. Love it. Thank you so much for joining us on the pod. We'll be chatting to you in basically 51 weeks. When we do it all again. Look after yourselves.
Okay.
Stay safe. Stay blessed. And always remember to.
Go give your mum a hug.
It's ciao for now. Bye now forever.